Hi, so here we are at the beginning of the Trecena. The Trecena is going to be all about faith and loyalty. There's going to be an element of unconditional love and an element of justice in there as well. So, what can we expect during this Trecena? Well, in order to understand where our faith is, in order to understand where our loyalty is, sometimes these things need to be tested. They need to be poked and prodded and evaluated. And in order for these tests to happen, obviously situations have to arise to allow that quantification to happen. So this could be a time where our faith is tested. This might be our faith in each other. This might be our faith in the world, our faith in our views, our kind of like our world views, our teaching, what we've learned so far. There's a possibility that all these things are going to be looked at. Maybe a time when we have to look at our loyalty. This could be our loyalty to a situation, to people, to places. Our loyalty to ourselves in one way or another. Where's that going? Where are we with that? Where do we put our flag? And what's in the best interests for ourselves, our family, our community? How does that all work out? See, one of the things that I really see with the Trecena of Tz'i is that this loyalty, sometimes we might have misplaced loyalty. Tz'i personality, the Tz'i Trecena, the Tz'i energy is such that once it makes that bond, once it makes that loyalty, once it makes this decision to give its heart, it becomes unconditionally loving of that which it gives its heart to. And so we can often find people who carry the Trecena of Tz'i standing beside those people that they are loyal to for a long time after they probably should have abandoned it. Now, I know that might sound a bit weird and might sound a bit harsh about abandoning people, but sometimes there's people that are not going to be in your best interests for your own development. And standing beside them through blind loyalty and blind faith is not something which is going to help you to develop. So these may be the tests of faith. On the other side of things, there's those ones where you really do need to stand beside. Perhaps it's your family. Perhaps it's your community that calls you. And this is where you need to look at it and say, right, okay, I understand that this is going to be a hard task. I understand that this might be uncomfortable, but really this is where I can faithfully stand by these people within my community and support them, show them that I love unconditionally, despite circumstances which might have come up. So these are things which we might see in this Trecena. As I said, they're not always going to be comfortable things, but again, this is all about our development. This is about where we're moving to. And as we follow the Trecena through, we'll see that the Trecena of Tz'i ends up in 13 Ik, in Oshlahu Ik, the message from spirit or the message from the ancestors. So that's what we're working forwards to. We kind of got this faith that we have to keep going forward. We've got this loyalty towards our own progression, and we end up getting a message from spirit at the end of it. So as we go through the Trecena, obviously we start in 1 Tz'i, that's today. This is an idea, a new faith, a new loyalty, a new expression of that loyalty. So this is a possibility that today we might get things come up that show us those kind of things, that show us kind of like, okay, well, we were there, now we're moving to here, and in order to do that, where have we got to put our faith? Have we got to have a new faith in something? Tomorrow becomes 2 Bats. So this is a really interesting day in many ways, because Bats is about the weaving of threads. And it's the weaving maybe of the black and the white, maybe of the masculine and the feminine, the yellow and the red, whatever it is. It's like these two kind of like opposing things coming in that we weave together to create beauty, because Bats is all about creating the beauty in the art. So it's kind of like sometimes looking at the differences in life and being able to weave them together into one pattern. Looking at the polar opposites and being able to weave them together in one pattern. And of course also when we have 2 as being the number of lovers and Bats as being this weaving together of things. So again, this could be kind of like a good day for relationships, bringing things together into one place, creating anew through our relationships. We then come to the third day, 3er. Now, I talk a lot about the 3, and there's a lot said about it being a low number, an unstable number, not always the best number to express things externally, I think is probably the best way of putting it. It's the inner expression that comes with the 3, and it's in the inner world is where the 3 has its power, because all numbers have power. We just need to understand where they have power, and if we try and express that power in the wrong place at the wrong time, then it might fall flat. So 3er. Is the journey, it's the road of discovery. 3 is looking inside for it. So 3er might not be the best day to be taking a long physical journey, for instance, but it might be a great day for looking inside yourself, looking for what you need to discover within you. Now, of course, we're talking about the Trecena of Tz'i, so maybe this is a case of discovering within you what it is that allows you to bring that faith in the world, or looking inside yourself for unconditional love. We then move into 4ach. Now, as we go through the Nawales, we have two very interesting combinations here. We have ach with the number 4. So 4 is this physical, material stability, and ach is all about harmony in the home, harmony in the community. So this is a great day to be doing that, to be making exercises, doing exercises which actually bring harmony to your physical surroundings, to your physical home. So this is a day kind of like going out and working in your community, really like doing stuff on the ground. It's not necessarily a day for esoteric things or those kind of things. It's really kind of like grounded physical day of bringing harmony into your home, harmony into your community. So putting your energy there. And of course that then gives you a stable base for whatever you create on top of that. And as we're going through stuff that we're talking about faith and loyalty, we're talking about unconditional love. So this is where we got this stable base that we can then work on, because sometimes when we're taking a leap of faith, when we're looking at the new faith which is coming into the world, we need that. We need somewhere like that we can base it on. And 4ach is exactly that. It's making sure that all the material necessities are provided for, so that we can then move on with these things like faith. 5ish is the following day. 5ish is a day about work, because it's the number 5. And so when we see the number 5, we're always thinking about this one hand that does the work, this one hand. The work, in this case, is connected with altars, it's connected with Mother Earth, it's connected with our own magic. And so again, when we see a 5, sometimes we can think like that we've got to put our energy in there. It's like it's not just going to fall in our lap, but also sometimes this might be harder work than we expected it to be. You know, this is where again we got to have our faith in ourselves. But 5ish is about working on the magic, it's about working on the earth, it's about working on our connection with Mother Earth. As I said, this isn't something that we can expect to drop into our laps. This is about going out and putting your energy into your connection with Mother Earth, putting your energy into your prayers, putting your energy into altars, and then seeing what comes back. Because again, this is a reciprocating system, yeah? We put the energy in, and then we get a response. When we get the response, that then builds the faith that we have in our connection, it builds the faith that we have in ourselves, in our magic. And so this is a day for going out and doing that. As if that needs to be reinforced, the following day is 6 Tz'ikin. And 6 Tz'ikin, well, Tz'ikin is again a Nawal of manifestation. It's said that the Tz'ikin cries out for whatever it wants and usually gets it. This is a verbal manifestation, and this is something to be aware of on that day. But that number 6 brings this real nice stability. It's that stability that comes through the connection to the heart of the sky and the heart of the earth, and bringing those things out into the physical plane. Now, Tz'ikin, we know, flies on high. We understand that Tz'ikin, from what we've seen in Mayan architecture and this sort of thing, can often represent the bird deity. And this bird deity is sitting on top of the cross as the heart of the sky. So there's a masculine principle that comes in through that. But we've also got the vision that occurs, the vision that we can see all around us when we're sitting up on high. And so this gives you the ability to bring your vision, whatever that might be, into the material plane through your connection to the heart of the sky and the heart of the earth. So this is kind of like incorporating the divine masculine and divine feminine principles into your vision in order to manifest it into the world. So this is a great day for business. This is a great day for like getting your energy into that vision, receiving inspiration that helps you to develop your vision. And once again, if we take it back to the Noah Tz'i, if we take it back to this Trecena of Tz'i, we once again get the understanding that this is going to bolster our faith in whatever we've got, because on the 6th Tz'ikin day, we can expect to receive some form of inspiration, at the very least, that helps us to ground our vision into the world. There then follows a day which can be, well, interesting in many ways. The day 7 Achmach. So, Achmach, well, it's all about forgiveness. Achmach, he of error, he of sin. These are two ways that it can be put. But it's all about understanding that we're all human. And we all make mistakes, and nobody's really perfect, and if they were perfect, they'd probably finished their mission, they don't need to be here anymore. So in the meantime, while we're all being human, we better get on with accepting ourselves. We better get on with extending that unconditional love that we're learning about through the Tz'i Trecena, and forgiving those people around us. Now the 7, the top of the pyramid, the finality, the ending. So we have the finality of forgiveness. And I would say that the day 7 Achmach is really about going into stuff and doing this kind of forgive and forget. It's really where you got to look at it and say, right, okay, I've been carrying that burden, blaming somebody or being guilty about something for way too long. It's time to get rid of it. And sometimes there we are, we're being all forgiving and say, hey, no problem, forget about it. But still there's that little niggle at the back of our head that keeps repeating it. Keeps repeating that grudge or whatever. So here on 7 Achmach, this is inviting us to say, right, okay, those things that you're carrying, you don't need to carry them anymore. It's about time that you really forgive and forget. So if you get something come up that day, remember this is the idea of it. This is the opportunity to clear that karma out. This is the opportunity to clear whatever you're carrying out so you can move forward with true sweetness, because that's what Achmach brings us to. That's what it's all about. It's embracing the sweetness of humanity. And we do that through the forgiveness. And I would suggest, in this case, we do that through unconditional love. We then reach the ceremonial day of the Trecena, Washikib Noch, 8 Noch. So, 20 days before that, we went into the Noch Trecena. We were talking about new ideas, new thoughts, new ways of solving problems. And here we are coming round to Washikib Noch, coming round to the ceremonial day of Noch. And so this is a day where we ask the fire, where we make our prayers, where we make our offerings, and ask the fire for the solutions to problems. We ask the fire to keep our minds clear, to keep our thoughts harmonious. Because this is what Noch has the ability to do. It's all about intellect, it's all about the brain. In many ways, it's all about the mind. And so we can ask Noch to look after us, we can ask Noch to guard our mind. We can ask Noch for the solutions that we need in order to bring harmony into our community. And in this case, maybe it's the faith that we have that we will be able to solve the problems of our community. Now that 8 represents the wholeness. And sometimes, like if we said the wholeness of Noch, we might be talking about the logical mind and the artistic mind. We might be able to sort, if we were talking about the wholeness of the brain, which Noch represents, we'd be talking about the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. We could be talking about what could be considered to be masculine thought and feminine thought. And this is about marrying the two together to come up with what really is the best solution for all. We then move to the day 90 hash. 90 hash. Well, we have Tihash as being the masculine healer. We have Tihash as being this active principle. We have Tihash as being the warrior, the holy warrior at times. It's the obsidian blade. It's that which cuts, that which heals. And here we have it with the number 9. The number 9 representing the divine feminine. The number 9 representing compassionate. And here we have it with Tihash. So Tihash is cutting away and 9 is bringing it compassion. So this, once again, when we look at it with regards to the Trecena of Tz'i, where we're talking about unconditional love, this is the healing aspect. And that healing aspect might be cutting something away on the Tihash day, but it's doing it with unconditional love. It's doing it with the faith, the understanding that this is the right way to go. So, as with all Tihash days, we're looking at releasing something. As with all Tihash days, we understand that when things are dragging us out of balance, when things are causing imbalance, they're causing a lack of healing. And that lack of healing has to be resolved in one way or another. So the Tz'i Trecena gives us an ability to make a decisive cut on the day 90 hash, but to do it with unconditional love. We then go into the day 10 Kawok. Well, Kawok is again about moving forward. Kawok is the midwife to the new life. It's the birth process that we go through. Kawok is the one that washes the old world away in the great flood, in the great storm. And here we have it with the number 10, which represents this. It represents community. It represents society. So on 90 hash, we went through this cutting process, removing stuff. Well, 10 Kawok feels like a really friendly combination to me. The reason for this, we have the cooperation, the community aspect of the 10 with Kawok. She's here to soothe us. She's here to help us. Kawok is always friendly. It might not always be gentle. The flood wasn't gentle. The downpour, the storm isn't gentle. But it's what moves us forward into the new part of our life. And so as we go through it, what we can see here is accepting help from our community or giving help to our community to help them to go through that process of release, that birth process that moves us into the new world. We then move into 11 Achpu. 11 Achpu is a high numbered day. It's a strong day. Achpu has us searching for divinity. It has us searching for the hero within ourselves in one way or another. The divinity within ourselves, the divine being. This is the quest for the grail that we're all on, to find our own divinity, to work out the God self within ourselves and each other. Again, Trecena of Tz'i. So we're looking at faith and loyalty. We're looking at justice. We're looking at unconditional love throughout this Trecena. And here we have 11 Achpu. So 11, I said before, can go all over the place. We don't know quite where it's going next. So we could imagine that this is the Don Quixote of the Nahuales. This is like going in all sorts of different directions on your quest that may not make a lot of sense to other people. Sometimes you just know where you have to go. Sometimes you have to know where the divinity is. And so 11 Achpu brings that out. It might bring unexpected changes in direction. These changes might feel very strong, like you really need to follow that direction, that you know that is your divine path. Other people might not understand it. But this is where you may find yourself moved to change direction and just have to have the faith of the Trecena in order to follow that. You might not exactly know why you're following it at the beginning. You just know that you've got to go in that direction. 12 in Mosh will then bring us the opportunity to create our dream, because in Mosh is all about connecting with the dream world. And here we have the 12. So the 12 is bringing together parts of life's experiences, like bundling it all together. So the 12 in Mosh is like bundling your life's dreams together, bringing it all together in one place. Now, this might be a life stream from a long time ago, and bringing it into the now, bringing it together with the stuff from now. So this is an immense opportunity. It's a very, very strong energy, 12 in Mosh. And there is an element of caution within that as well, because Mosh represents that psychic connective between us all, the psychic collective rather, that joins us all together. And when we're part of that psychic collective, we're going to receive messages from that psychic collective from all over the place. Here, we got the volume of that turned up to 12, right? And so we might find ourselves really, really deluged with the stuff from other people. So this is kind of like sifting out, right? Okay, do you remember having that dream in your life? That's part of your stuff. You don't remember it? No, that's part of something else. And so there's a level of discernment as to what you're going to put into your bundle. How you're going to stay loyal to the dreams that you've had throughout your life. It's fine helping other people. That's part of our nature. That's part of our guidance for other people, yeah? But there's a certain aspect where when you're manifesting your dreams, you want to make sure that, yeah, they're your dreams, not shared dreams. This is like coming in from what you've got. And then finally, we end up in the Nawal 13, Ich. So, Ich is the Nawal of communication. It's the Nawal of the breath of life. It's the Nawal of changes. And here we see it connected to the highest number, the number 13. Ich was the number of the wind. The Nawal of the wind is also the Nawal of the hurricane. And 13 is its strongest apparition. This can be very strong changes. This can be very strong communication. This is a day where we may need to watch our words, because our words, if they are misconstrued, they might be misconstrued very strongly in the wrong way. So it's a day to be very gentle with your words, because everything is going to come through very much more empowered than normal. This is a day when we may find strong and unexpected changes happening. That 13 Ich is, you know, it can turn everything upside down. So it's a day to be prepared. Equally, this is a very interesting day to receive messages. The 13 can represent the spirit world. It can also represent the ancestors. And here we are with the Nawal of communication. So communication from the spirit world, communication from the ancestors seems to be very, very strongly highlighted on the day 13 Ich. So if you need to make a consultation with somebody, if you've always wanted to go and talk to somebody through a medium, if you're waiting for a message from spirit, this is the day to keep your eyes, your ears and your senses wide open, because this is the day on which that communication is most likely to happen. That said, it may even be that you don't need to keep things that wide open, because it will be so obvious when it comes through that you probably won't be able to ignore it anyway. But certainly it's a great day for divination, it's a great day for a reading, it's a great day to do that kind of work with the spirit world. So I hope this has been of use for you. I hope this is going to guide you well through the Tz'i Trecena, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. Thank you.